Hello, and welcome to the Winning the Oracle Enterprise Workload Transformation Market presentation here at reInvent. My name is Michael Sitt. I am the Senior Partner Business Development Manager focused on Oracle workloads. My role is to enable partners and customers in a successful migration of their Oracle workloads. I come from an extensive Oracle background, having spent 21 years at Oracle and was an Oracle customer previously for 9 years. So today we're going to talk about the market opportunity that's ahead of us here. There's a lot of Oracle customers. Their workloads are still running on premises. So there's an opportunity to help them migrate these workloads to AWS. Next, we will talk about the 3 most common use cases that we see in this Oracle transformation market. And then finally, as a partner, what programs and funding incentives you can take advantage of in order to enable a successful journey. According to Oracle's corporate website today, they have over 430,000 customers in 175 countries. Now, they no longer break down what products these customers are running since 2016. But in 2016, they listed over 310,000 database customers and over 120,000 Oracle application customers. In the last 3 years here at AWS, in talking to Oracle customers, it's amazing to me how many of these workloads are still running on premises and not in the cloud. What customers are looking for is help in getting these application workloads into the cloud to take advantage of the cloud. Now, it is unusual if a customer is only running one database or one application workload under Oracle. Usually they have many applications and many database workloads. And in this type of environment, it can be difficult for customers to architect a proper solution in terms of how do I get my on-premises workload running Oracle into the AWS cloud and have it run efficiently. That's where we come in. AWS, along with our partners, are the specialized experts in doing this that customers are looking for. But before we get into the use cases and the market opportunity, let's talk about a customer first. This customer is the second largest grocery chain, supermarket chain in the UK. They are running an online e-commerce site called Groceries Online, and they are running on-premises and running a fairly complex Oracle environment, a 3-node real application cluster environment, serving these needs. And what they found was they were having difficulty in managing such a complex environment. And how do we scale when the demands for the groceries online application really goes up dramatically? And which is the case now. If you think about during the pandemic, like, a lot of people want their groceries delivered instead of having to walk into a supermarket to buy them. So they were having these issues. So what they did, along with the help of one of our partners, was to bring this application to AWS. But what they did was we changed the architecture, we simplified it. We're no longer using real application clusters. They're able to save significant money by not having to run rack. And it's running a single instance on RDS Oracle, which is a managed Oracle database. About 30% less infrastructure right now at AWS to run the same application, and yet they're still seeing 70 to 80% performance improvements. This is the type of workload that customers are looking for help from AWS and AWS partners to help migrate into the AWS cloud. So the first use case I want to talk about is called Move to Manage Database. Today, when you're running a database on premises, and I used to be an Oracle DBA doing this, it's very time consuming. It's a complex environment and it can be expensive. Oracle database administrators are some of the more expensive resources out in the marketplace. You've got to take care of a lot of things yourself because you're self-managing it. You have to do the hardware, software installation. How do I configure it effectively for the best performance and high availability? I've got to patch the database. Maybe sometimes the OS needs patches, and I've got to manage backups and recovery. So I'm constantly looking at performance. How do I get the best performance? Is it highly available? So that if something were to happen, I'd be able to recover it. And I've got a plan for capacity. If my business is going to peak at certain times, how do I ensure I've got enough hardware and database resources to handle that, and scaling computing resources and storage. And finally, I've got to worry about security. Is the database secure, that no bad actors get in? And then I may be subject to certain industry compliances or government compliances that I've got to take care of. So if you imagine a DBA or an IT staff having to manage all of this on premises, how much time does that take away from doing something maybe more productive for a company? So one of the best way, the simplest way, is to kind of move this database into a managed database service like Amazon RDS. Okay, if you look on the left here, if you're self-managing this infrastructure, these are all the things that you've got to take care of. The next step might be some customers might do a lift and shift of the application into infrastructure as a service, where you see AWS will now start taking care of some of the hardware issues that you have, the hardware maintenance on EC2. But to get the best benefit and the best productivity, move to manage means moving our Oracle database into Amazon RDS Oracle, in which case we not only take care of the hardware, but also the software for you. Installations, configuration, backup, recovery, all of that is done automatically for you. All you've got to worry about is optimizing your application. This gives your DBAs and IT staff more time to develop new applications, or just modify existing ones to create better value. So customers are looking to do this by moving these databases over. So in this case, if you move it to RDS Oracle, you get these benefits, right? You're migrating without, most of the time you're migrating without having to change any application code. So your application runs as is, without any changes in the cloud against RDS Oracle. We've talked about reducing database administration burden, so DBAs can spend more valuable time doing other things. And you get better performance, availability, scalability, and security that's inherently built into the Amazon AWS platform. So let's talk about a customer who's done this. Most of you have heard of Kaplan. They're known for higher education, test prep like SATs, ACTs, GMAT, LCAT, LSAT, as well as professional certification examinations. They were running 12 different data centers to handle all of this load. Okay, they were having trouble because the architecture is not very flexible. You're dealing with a large number of data centers, and it's not very agile if you want to make changes. So how do we change that? How do we get a better architecture? Well, in 2012, when Hurricane Sandy hit the eastern seaboard, their data center was down for almost 2 weeks. So they were looking for a better architecture to put something in the cloud so they don't have to manage all of this themselves. They were able to do that by moving their Oracle as well as SQL Server databases from on-premises into Amazon RDS. So now we are managing the RDS Oracle databases and the RDS SQL Server databases for them. They were able to reduce from 12 data centers down to 4, which is much more manageable. So significant savings and time savings in having to manage all of this by themselves. The next use case I want to talk about is called break free from legacy databases. So a lot of your Oracle customers are used to what we're talking about here and what the challenges are with a legacy database like Oracle. It is expensive. Licensing cost is not cheap, and you've got to pay maintenance and support annually. And these costs typically don't go down. Like every year, they're ever increasing as you're doing more with your systems. They're proprietary systems. So when you get into these systems, there's a good chance you're getting locked in to this ecosystem. We talked about the licensing. They've got very punitive licensing terms, and then you may get a dreaded call that says, you've been audited, right? Which is another thing that Oracle does in terms of trying to look for more revenue, is to look to see, are you using features that you're not licensed for? So all of these things have gotten customers running Oracle to look at open source databases. What they want to do is they want to be saving money on licensing costs, but they don't want to give up some of the features that commercial legacy databases have. So open source databases are covered here in Amazon RDS. We support MySQL, PostgreSQL, as well as MariaDB. Now, you can move those and refactor your Oracle database and applications into these open source databases. But the question customers have always asked is, well, can I get the same performance and reliability of a commercial grade database like an Oracle and yet save money by using open source databases? Well, you can. We've done that with Amazon Aurora. So Amazon Aurora is a database that is MySQL and PostgreSQL compatible. That it was built specifically for the cloud. It can run about 5 times faster than standard MySQL, 3 times faster than standard PostgreSQL. But we have built-in features to give you the performance and reliability of a commercial grade database, but all of this at 1/10 of the cost. Okay? And Amazon Aurora is part of the RDS family, so it is a managed database service. We are taking care of high availability, auto scaling of storage and compute resources, and it's fully managed. You don't have to worry about hardware installations, installing software, patching, backup and recovery. So this is a great choice. So let's take a look at an example of a company who has done that. You've heard of Samsung Electronics. They are the world's largest maker of mobile phones, as well as other electronics like televisions and household appliances. On their online subscriber systems, applications, they had over 1.1 billion users. And they were having issues scaling the system. Okay? So not only scaling, but they were very concerned about the cost that it was taking them to run this, because Oracle licenses were expensive, annual maintenance and support was expensive, and it kept increasing. What they were able to do was to take this database and convert it into an Amazon Aurora database. It took some work. Not every procedural code can be automatically transformed for you by our tools, but it did most of the work. And once they got it in there, they were able to get the better scaling and performance of their application, but running without Oracle licenses. So they were able to save significant money here by doing this. This is a very good example of a company that's running an Oracle legacy database, was tired of the costs, the maintenance, and refactored to Amazon Aurora. The third use case is Oracle applications. And by applications, we're talking about the commercial off-the-shelf applications that Oracle sells, like Oracle E-Business Suite, PeopleSoft, and JD Edwards. There are others like Siebel, ATG Commerce, and very industry-specific ones like clinical or utilities. So if we look at this data from InfoClutch, there are a significant customer base here. Over 21,000 customers running Oracle E-Business Suite, over 16,000 on PeopleSoft, and almost over 9,000 on JD Edwards. These ERP systems are typically what a customer considers the crown jewels of their back office operations. These applications are really the central hub of running their back offices. And with these applications, it is not just an application by itself. They typically have many other applications, most of them Oracle, whether it's homegrown or another commercial off-the-shelf application that integrates with these applications. So when customers are looking to migrate one of these applications, there's a whole ecosystem that they need help on to do this migration. Now, we've been doing this for a while at AWS. You can see by these white papers, we've written with these white papers on best practices, on how to migrate these applications, as well as co-writing some of these with our partners. So there is a trend. In my 3 years here at AWS, I have seen Oracle application customers wanting to move these applications into the AWS cloud. As with move to manage, break free, there is a choice with Oracle applications in terms of what you're doing today versus what you can be doing in our cloud. So if you're self-managing these applications, again, you have to take care of all of these things yourself in terms of hardware and software. If you move it to EC2, like for instance, an Oracle e-business suite today only runs on EC2, and there are technical reasons why it cannot run on RDS Oracle. We take care of the hardware, but you're still responsible for the software piece. But other applications like PeopleSoft, JD Edwards, ATG, Commerce, Siebel even, can run on RDS Oracle. So then you can take advantage of the productivity gains that are given by a RDS managed Oracle database service. A good example of this is Intuit. It's a company that most people are aware of or know for QuickBooks, TurboTax, and Mint.com. They were running their Oracle e-business suite production instance in the Oracle cloud under a service called the Oracle Managed Cloud Service. But they were having issues. As you can imagine, with software like TurboTax, you get the spikes in usage, especially around tax time. But they were having real issues in the Oracle cloud, scaling and getting the performance they need. So again, with one of our key partners, they were able recently to migrate this e-business suite installation into AWS, and it's running fantastic. This was a very complex, expensive environment running in the Oracle Cloud. It was using Exadata as well as real application clusters. We are now running it in a single instance Oracle database at AWS with better performance, and once again, saving the customer money in terms of licensing because they no longer need Exadata or real application clusters. Okay. Now you know what the 3 use cases are that we can go after. Well, what are some of the partner programs and funding incentives that you can take advantage of as a partner to help drive these workloads to AWS? Well, if you take a look at this diagram, obviously there's a lot that the APN network has built to help you in that respect. But we'll focus on some of these that are most relevant to this opportunity. The APN Navigate program is an enablement program. It gives you step-by-step guidance on how to build, market, and sell as an AWS partner. Now, it has a lot of training here. There's online training, there's workshops specific, in this case for databases like Amazon RDS Oracle, Aurora. Okay. It's really good if you're an existing APN partner and you're onboarding new technical people into your company, you could take advantage of this and kind of help them educate themselves about AWS. If you're a new APN partner, then this program can really help jumpstart your entire organization into becoming an APN partner and driving these workloads. The AWS Competency program is a validation program given to partners to show that specific partners have proven expertise and customer use cases based on certain solutions. So for the most relevant competencies here for this Oracle workload migrations would be the migration competency as well as the Oracle competency. And once you do that, once you get this designation that you're competent in the solution area, then you can take advantage of a lot of program benefits, like getting increased visibility, not only with customers who are looking for help in this type of workload, but also with AWS sellers. And there are additional funding programs that you can take advantage of, and many other things, right? Like go-to-market support. Something similar to that is the AWS Service Delivery program. Now, what this one does is we identify specific consulting partners and certified that they are experts in specific services and have customer use cases and customer references in those services. For instance, um, you may want to become a service delivery program partner for Amazon Aurora and for Amazon RDS or for the database migration service. And once you get this designation, again, the same type of benefits come to you, right? It makes you more visible to our customers as well as our AWS sellers. The Database Freedom Program is a unique program. This is a program to help accelerate customers who wish to get off of the Oracle database or SQL Server database for that matter, legacy databases, into one of our open source engines and Aurora. So this is aligned to that break free sales motion. Customers want to break free from legacy databases. The Database Freedom Program really consists of three components. One is technical advice that we can offer to customers or you can offer to customers. The second one is the migration support through tooling as well as professional services, I mean to say, as well as partners like yourself that can help customers do these refactoring of the databases into open source. And finally, there's financial incentives and assistance to help customers lower the overall cost of the migration. The Migration Acceleration Program is a comprehensive program for migrating to databases at AWS that is built on years of experience of doing this migration with enterprise level customers. And it's built on these 6 pillars. Okay? It is about a migration methodology on how to do it, tools that we have built like DMS and SCT, but it is also the partners and professional services who can help customers not only do the migration, but upfront analyze their workloads, figure out what makes sense, build a timeline and a roadmap to doing these things, okay, in an efficient manner. Finally, there's training, and again, AWS incentives, financial incentives to help customers reduce the total cost of migration. The ISV workload migration program is very specific to Oracle applications motion. Okay, so these applications like eBusiness Suite, PeopleSoft, JD Edwards are Oracle's ISV workloads. So in order to help customers do these migrations, we help enable partners to do this. So there are 3 components to the ISV workload migration program. One is the technical enablement, which is AWS helping you as a partner build repeatable methodology to migrate these workloads. The second, again, is a financial investment to help reduce the overall costs that a customer would have to pay. And finally, there is the APN partner community, which means we can look at an ISV workload like an e-business suite, help you develop a methodology to efficiently migrate these workloads, and then scale that through SI partners. So if we've done the work before with one partner, we can certainly leverage what we've learned from that workload with you as another partner for the same type of workload. And ultimately, we're focused on that the migration ends up being successful for the customer. Now, I've talked about 4 different customers already, but here's a slide you can see for Move to Manage, for Break Free, and for Oracle applications. We have other customers, we have references that we have been doing this, but we need help. We need partners to help customers do these because they are complex migrations. Having said all of that, I have a call to action for you. So the first thing to do is learn. Watch reInvent session, look at Andy Jassy's keynote, learn about database services at AWS, and get some training. Second is, if you're not an APN partner yet, join. If you are, continue what you're doing, and then maybe think about getting competencies like database and migration competencies if you don't already have it. Getting a service delivery program designation, right? All of these things will help you achieve better visibility with our customers and with our AWS sellers. And then finally, engage. Okay. Look inside your installed base today and identify 3 Oracle customers that are not running in the cloud that we can migrate to AWS. Okay. Once you've done that, then you can engage the partner team, whether it's your partner development manager or the partner success manager, or even, as you see in the email on this screen, the database SI partner email alias, and we can help you do that. And then finally, submit your opportunities to our tool called ACE. This way, we can jointly drive these opportunities to success. I want to thank you today for attending this session on driving Oracle workload transformation to AWS. And one more ask of you, if you can, please complete the session survey so that we can better understand what your needs are and whether the content is relevant and something that you want to see. Once again, thank you for attending.